A very good evening to you. Welcome to the Monday edition of the show. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Well, as usual, there's a lot to talk about on the show. Let me give you a quick rundown of what to expect on the show tonight. We're going to talk about our clubs on the continent. How did they fare? Overall wasn't too good for Nigeria. We'll talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. All of the events surrounding the preliminary rounds in the CAF Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup. We'll also talk about cricket on the show tonight. Of course, there's a new sheriff in town. We'll talk about him as the show progresses. We'll talk about the D Tigers ending the first phase of the AfroBasket qualifiers undefeated. We'll talk about that on the show, all for you. Well, we spare a thought for the English Premier League. One of the two matches that played today. One has just ended. We'll talk about it. One currently going on. We'll talk about that as well. We'll talk about Diego Maradona is gone, but a lot of things still happening behind the scene. His doctor being quizzed by prosecutors. We'll talk about that on the show. And of course, the melodrama that happened yesterday in Bahrain, talking about Grosjean, one of the drivers, how he survived. We're going to look at all of the things that surrounded that incident as well. So that's the outlook of the show today. And of course, we just want you to be with us so that we can take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. Before I go any further, let me bring you into all that we're doing on the show tonight. It's always interesting to know that you're there watching us, and we want you to be a part of it. Here's your opportunity to have your say on the show. Just in case you join us for the first time, this is what you're going to do. Send us a mail. Get across to us on Facebook, and you can as well. Let's talk on Twitter. Send us some mail. Sports Tonight at channelstv.com. I almost said the other one. Sports Tonight at channelstv.com. On Facebook, Channels for Sports, and on Twitter at channels_sports. Let's know how you feel on all of these things that I've highlighted that we're going to be talking about. Perhaps there's something you feel should get some time on the show. Let's also know as we move on the show. We'll do our best to put you into the discussion on the show tonight. All right, let me quickly introduce my partner. He starts the show with me here in the Lagos studio. And of course, hopefully we will fly safely and land safely. Onyemuchi Nwachukwu, Deputy Editor, Sporting Live Newspapers. It's good to have you join me again this lovely Monday.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, Yemi.
All right. A lot of this happens over the weekend. There's always the temptation to start with football. I know football will be on your thoughts, especially what happened with our clubs. On the average, wasn't really good. And but let me get your thoughts. But I have a feeling that CAF Champions League, CAF Confederation Cup probably will be big on the things on your mind that happened over the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, if you have followed football, you will. It didn't come to me as a surprise because our players are not match fit. For instance, Simba that played Plateau United in Jos have played 11 matches in their league. And you can't compare a team that is, match competitive, that have played 11 grueling games against a team that has not played for so long, and you look at the quality of friendlies that they have, they played in. Apart from the precision friendly in Aba, where they played, perhaps the biggest team there was Enyimba. The other teams were, in the lower level, apart from Abia Warriors. Then you don't expect anything much. Right. For me, it didn't come to me as a surprise. Okay. I was shocked that people were saying Simba upset Plateau United in Jos.
It wasn't an upset.
Yeah, it wasn't an upset.
Okay.
If you look at the pedigree too, apart from the fact that their league has been running for 11 weeks, the pedigree, they are always perennial, campaigners in the CAF Champions League. And you look at the setup of Simba, Yemi. Yesterday I was so sad. On Twitter, for goodness sake, the away team was more visible on Twitter than the home team.
We'll get. There's a temptation to get straight into it, but of course, I want to start with some of the things happening in your amazing world of sports and get it out of the way so that we can have time to talk about football. And which is here to cover all the angles, probably some things that we might have missed for us. But let's start the show off with cricket. I told you there's a new sheriff in town. 1996 World Cup winning Sri Lankan batsman Asanka Gurusinha has been named Nigeria's head coach and high performance director. That's why I told you there's a new sheriff in town. The left-hander played 11 years for Sri Lanka between 1985 to 1996. Was part of the World Cup winning squad in 1996. And he was a regular in the top order across 41 tests, 117 one-day internationals, what they call ODIs. He is remembered for a 65 against Australia in the final of the 1996 edition of the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. Gurusinha subsequently moved to Melbourne and qualified as a level 3 coach. He has worked as a cricket manager for Sri Lanka since 2017 and consulted for Cricket Australia as a regional cricket coach. All right, so that's the resume of the guy that's going to be in charge of our cricket. I dare say that is a bold move and a step in the right direction. I mean, just reeling out his resume and having someone like that being associated with Nigeria, it makes me feel like 50% of the job is done already. The other 50% is whatever we provide the man with to do his job.
Absolutely, and I mean, you put it in the right perspective. If you are looking for a cricket coach, the best place to go is the cricket playing nations. I mean, Sri Lanka, India, Pakistan, England, South Africa, Australia. These are the countries renowned for cricket.
Strong cricket nations.
And cricket in Nigeria has given us a lot to talk about. You know, they accuse journalists, you don't talk about some sports, but when you have activities,
yes,
there's no way journalists will not talk about it. And for the past 3 years, there is a gradual renaissance of cricket in this country. And I was reading through the story, and it just reminded me how we participated at the Under-19 World Cup in 2020 in South Africa, the senior men's 2020 World Cup qualifier last year, and of course the national women's team World Cup qualifier in Zimbabwe also last year. It shows that Nigerian cricket is, going up there, and you need to complement by getting a coach that will take us to the next level. I mean, you can get the coach you want anywhere, the best coaches anywhere, whether it's local or foreign. Just get the best. And from what they have done, it shows that they know where they're going, and they have given this man the platform to come here and improve our cricket. And I was also looking at some of the things, the mandate given to him. He is going to train Nigerian coaches, he's going to mentor them, and by the time he leaves, because eventually he's going to leave.
At some point, yes.
I mean, the cricket in Nigeria would have reached a level
and benefited
where
from his
the
presence.
local coaches will now take over, and the sky will just be the beginning.
I mean, we both agree that it's an ambitious move. It's a statement of intent. I do agree. But my fear is always that would a person of this pedigree get all he needs? I mean, there's no doubt about his credentials, no doubt about the potentials. But will he get the... do you think? It's hard to be able to say at this moment whether or not, but looking at Nigerian situation and some of the things we know about the Nigerian situation, you think he might get all of the things he needs?
Yeah, I mean, I want to believe that before a coach of this pedigree
agreed to come,
he would have seen a lot of things, commitment, the blueprint, where the federation wants to take cricket to. So I am convinced that he has seen
probably made his demands,
that they are serious. This federation is serious, and they have made its demands. And I'm also very convinced, Yemi, that we have men of means in the Cricket Federation. Remember, during the John Abebe period, they made a lot of progress. And cricket is almost like a gentleman's game.
Yeah.
It's very easy for the private sector to key in because you have people of integrity, people who are honest, people who will use the funds that will come from the private sector. And that is
judicious.
Yeah, judicial. And that's what they need. They don't, these corporate organizations, they are not like charity organizations where you pour money into a bottomless pit. You must see what your money is being used for. And I think cricket has shown that.
And I know you understand where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was a rugby coach that was brought in, maybe from South Africa the other time, and he went for a competition and he was interviewed, and some of the things that he
there have
said.
been so much internal wranglings in the rugby federation.
I felt for him, so I wouldn't want something like that.
I know. You also remember that the crisis.
Yeah.
The rugby federation has been immersed in crisis for some time. They're gradually coming out of it, but we don't have such in cricket.
In cricket, okay.
For this federation to be able to organize and send players, Nigerian teams to South Africa, to Zimbabwe, and attend very serious competitions.
Major events.
Yeah, shows that they know what they are doing.
All right. Let's leave it at that, and hopefully the new man in charge, talking about Asanka Gorosin here, would be able to take Nigerian cricket to the next level, and the benefit of his presence will be felt right here in Nigeria. Let's go on and talk about someone. We're out of adjectives to describe this young man. He's put us on the map. He's done so much for Nigeria, and the potential to do more is still there. Let's talk about Haruna Quadri tonight on the show. Easily, by a mile, Africa's best, and also among the world's elite. And this is something I always like to say, that we have a Nigerian among the world's elite, and it's doing well for his club. Third straight victory in the table tennis Bundesliga in Germany, mixing it with the big boys. The other time he was in China for a big event. Didn't get a win, but the mere fact that he's doing well in his club, and when you talk about victory for his club, he's always instrumental in a way to all of that. It makes me happy, and the prospects of him at the Olympics, in my mind, is becoming brighter.
Yeah, he's a very important player for his team. He left Portugal last year, went to the Bundesliga, and he's doing very well. Yes. I think we want him to do well, because when you are doing well for your club, it makes it easy. It becomes seamless for you to replicate that form for the national team. And the Olympic Games is around the corner. But again, I think he needs a lot of support from the federation and by extension the Nigerian government, because I was at the last Commonwealth Games in Australia, and some of the points, the worries that the players raised was that they are not given enough support, especially technically. I saw some of our opponents, especially India, employ world-class coaches to train their players, send them on training tours, give them a lot of financial support, and that's how you get it. You must invest. We can't just sit down here and pontificate and sermonize and say we are the giant of Africa. Some smaller countries are investing in sports and they are getting the results. So we need to support Haruna Quadri. Yes, he's doing well for his club, but the support from the home front is very important too.
All right. That could be pivotal. That could help him do more for the nation. All right. Let's stay on this a little. Let's now allow Austin Okon Akpan to join us on the show. Austin, it's good to have you join us. Of course, we're talking about Haruna Quadri and his exploits right there in Germany. Let me allow you to have your say. What else can be said about Haruna Quadri?
Awesome, beautiful. It doesn't get... By the way, good evening. Good to be on the show. And sporty greetings to our viewers wherever they are in the world watching us. Doesn't get bigger than playing in the German Bundesliga when talking about the table tennis league. And when Haruna Quadri was going to his new club, he was going with a lot of ambition. His major objective was to get better, play against the best in the continent, and of course, prepare himself for, at the time, the Tokyo 2020 Olympics. He's jumped into it now, and his victory number 3 sounds good for the number 1 ranked table tennis player in Africa. We all know about his quality, which he mentioned some of the challenges he's going through. Those challenges are still there, but he's pushing because, this is individual sport for you. And so I'm super excited knowing Haruna Quadri one-on-one and the dreams that he has for table tennis. not just for himself, but for Nigeria and the continent. One thing I admire about him is his consistency. We're talking about Aaron Okwadi for 5 years going now, and it's giving us more reasons to talk about it. I like the fact that he's in Germany now, gets to play with the best of the best in the league. And that's the only way you can get better. You need to be the best to be crowned one of the best. So we just hope that it keeps the momentum going.
Yep.
It's be very good for Nigeria as we get ready for the Olympics.
All right, so that's it. That's a good one. All right, let's talk about basketball. Let me say with you a little Austin, D Tigers. A lot of people will say no surprise, but these days I've learned not to disrespect anybody. Sports, anything can happen. We've seen strange things happen. AfroBasket qualifiers 2021, Nigeria, easy peasy against South Sudan, against also Rwanda, and against Mali. Ended the first phase undefeated. Were you surprised? I don't think you were. I'm not. So, but how did it make you feel?
Good. I told you, we spoke about this team on Friday, and I told you that if they can stand the physicality of the Malians, then they can go all the way. A little bit of a test for them in the first quarter, but when they picked their rhythm, it was a roller coaster ride. I love the results. I like what this team doing. I like what this team is saying to Africa, particularly that this is a qualifying stage. This is what your opponents in the main competition we fall back on, and it's really good. I also told you this is a good test of Coach Mike Brown to look at his team. If it was easy against South Sudan and Rwanda, the hosts, against Mali, you should start, dots in the eyes, and I'm sure he's doing just that. I've been particular about Festus Ezeli and some of the guys that are returning back to the team. With the D Tigers, I told you last week Friday that no problems. Let's just see what the new coach can do with this team in terms of tactical discipline and prepare them for international competition. So, unbeaten in the first phase. Let's see what they do in the next round.
All right, let's take a look at the standings. First phase, Group D, the standing. Nigeria is where a lot of us want Nigeria to be. So, but just for confirmation, let's just quickly see that, and I'll get on you with your thought. There is it, Nigeria riding high on top, where we want to be. We beat South Sudan, we beat Mali, we beat Rwanda, and if we had lost any of those games, that would have made the news, actually.
Yeah, I mean, with this federation, Yemi, they have got everything right. Yeah, you talk about camping, very good camping period, scouting, brainstorming, planning, and of course, you have brought a coach that has turned things around for us. And I don't want to believe that these teams are the teams with less, they are not, because South Sudan actually shocked Mali and Rwanda in their backyard. So let's give credit to the Tigers. They did well. And we pray that in January next year, when the third phase comes up, they will sustain this momentum. It's not just, it shouldn't rest on their oars. Because contrary to, reports that they have picked a ticket. They have not picked a ticket.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. All right, we need to go on a break right about now. And when we return from that break, we won't leave the D Tigers just yet. There's still a lot to talk about that. But we need to go on that break. And when we return, there's still so much for you in Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. I promised you that we're going to talk about D Tigers, but I checked it and I realized we're pressed for time. We'll get to talk about D Tigers later on, but let's continue now and talk about CAF Champions League, because that's what everyone is talking about. So let's just start with the results first. Let's look at what happened over the weekend, talking about mixed fortunes for Nigerian teams on the continent, and talking about Plateau United. Probably you saw the clip, lost to Zimba of Tanzania by a lone goal. So let's just quickly show you the results in case you missed the preliminary round, first leg in Jos. Simba Sports Club defeated our own Plateau United by a lone goal, but Eimba, the Aba Elephants, went to Burkina Faso and defeated Rahimo 1-0. It wasn't an easy thing to do, trust me. But don't you, let's start with Plateau United. They sent the wrong signals even before the game.
Yeah, I mean, beyond the results, our clubs and their management have not realized that football is big business.
Yeah.
They just think that, yes, we've qualified for the continent. We can do anything we like and probably embarrass the country. But, I mean, I was telling you before when the program started, yesterday I was following all the teams from Saturday. And, I went to the website of Plateau United. They were just giving updates. You can get that on Live Score. I went to the Twitter handle of Simba. I got more than 40 pictures. I mean, top quality photographs.
Yeah.
Yeah, very sharp. So what it means is that the team from Tanzania has realized that football is business.
Yeah.
Their followers all over the world, their fans can follow them everywhere.
Especially when you say a picture is worth more than 1,000 words.
Yes.
Those pictures tell the story.
You have very clear pictures. What it means is that their sponsors are getting value for their money.
Mileage, yeah.
Other sponsors are saying, okay, I think these guys are serious. Let us put in more money.
Yeah.
But we didn't have anything on the Twitter handle of Plateau United.
Apart from any other thing that you could get elsewhere.
Get elsewhere. You can get out of Live Score. So, I mean, it's high time our administrators put on their thinking cap and realize that football is big business. It's not just about picking a continental ticket and traveling, getting extra codes. You must get the right players. You had the stadium announcer say that Simba had 4 national team players.
Yeah.
Taifa Stars. I mean, if you don't have money, you can't recruit, you can't sign national team players. You have to pay them well. You have to pay them.
Keep them there.
Keep them there. Pay them. Give them the right motivation. Look at the quality of the jersey and everything. So it shows that this team is well branded. And these are the things we should be learning. Don't say this thing is from Tanzania, but they are doing well. I mean, Plateau United are even lucky that the game will be played behind closed door in Dar es Salaam. I mean, the stadium has 60,000 capacity.
It's always full.
Full to the brim. So if not for the order to play behind closed doors, they will probably be playing against 11 players and 60,000 fans in Dar es Salaam.
Before we go to Austin, your thoughts on Ayimba. A lot of people always take it for granted. They always trust Ayimba to get the job done. But they had their issues too, but they got the result. That's what that matters.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing is to get the result. And, Rahimo is a regular customer.
Yeah.
They beat them the other time, I think 5-2 on aggregate. But the stories we are hearing, Yemi, they are not palatable. I mean, if the chairman of the club is alleging that some people were trying to sabotage this game right from home, I mean, Abia State.
That's sad to hear.
Yeah, it's very sad. And they had to arrive a day later than expected. And, he praised the players for showing true discipline, high professionalism, weathered the storm to get the result. But, I mean, it
wasn't warranted.
It's unnecessary. Completely unnecessary.
All right. Let me go to Austin. Let me get it straight quickly. Austin, let's just start with... We'll go to the CAF Confederation Cup later, but let's start with the CAF Champions League. I don't know if you were surprised. I know it's Simba, but I still didn't expect Plateau United to lose at home.
I think I did. And we dropped the clue on Friday when you spoke to I Koje. We brought out some teething problems, basics that can affect a team on the field of play. You see, success is 360 degrees. It is beyond you just gathering players going to the pitch to play football. So if you take away teams from North Africa that are doing so well with branding of football, if you call Tipi Mazembe, you will call Simba, and it's just Tanzania. But they started with the little things, and they put a lot of investment, and the sponsorship started coming, and then their league improved, and now it is rubbing off on league football in that country. Onyenwuchi mentioned as little as pictures. Like, you're a journalist or in a pandemic, information is scarce. Clubs should understand that they should do little for branding, little. Let me let you know that Twitter handle that we even go to for Plateau United was fans put together. It's not even the official Twitter handle of Plateau United. Basic. What does it take to have a social media administrator? What does it take to have a photographer that will just take pictures, put online? That's the problem with our football. We ignore the little details and try to do so much. We told you on Friday, and I could just how they were celebrating their jerseys 3 days to this match that they lost. They started losing it then. If jerseys is coming, you're playing the CAF Champions League. And I'll say it again. The Channels International Kids Cup grassroots. We get our jerseys.
You have to rub that in. You have to rub that in.
We need to say these things for people to know. Yeah. Sometimes when we cry, no sponsorship in the league, no this, no that. That is branding. People need to understand that you see it as business. We don't see it as business.
You know, Austin, let me jump in. Let me jump in quickly. Do you see any way back for Plateau United? Do you see any way back for Plateau United?
No, difficult. Very difficult. I know it's football, anything can happen, but when you play in the CAF Champions League over 2 legs, you should better win at home. Otherwise, it gets difficult. Only what you just mentioned, if there was the time we're having fans in that stadium in Dar es Salaam, it's game over. They will go there and they will panic with the crowd. But with the quality Simba has shown, and see their discipline when they got their goal, that goal, you can tell that that's a team with character. They wanted that win and they got it. Again, yes, we've not been playing football, but Plateau United got their chances. They didn't take it. So something is wrong. There is distraction somewhere that you and I and Owen with you will never know, but the players know. For instance, some persons will be pissed that jerseys were just coming days to that competition. It might be other logistics, administrative, or even player welfare that would have been a problem before that match. Those are the problems that's not allowing our teams to excel on the continent. I just hope we'll fix it someday.
I hope so too. There were dignitaries there. I mean, top dignitaries, people from the NFF, the governor. I mean, a lot of them. And I'm very sure they weren't expecting Plateau United to lose. I mean, if you're talking about presence, the kind of presence that will motivate players, I mean, they had it. Key, Gabi Osnegovon right there in your picture. Coach Cannot Raw. I mean,
but they didn't wear the jersey. Sadly.
Oh, that's another omission. I mean, those little details that you talk about, at least we should always pay attention to. It's beyond bankrolling a team. You have to pay attention so that, I mean, like what you said, you're not putting your money into a bottomless pit. All right, let's pay a thought for Imba before we go to the CAF Confederation Cup. Did this one surprise you?
No. Showed the quality we expected.
Okay.
We know Imba comes with a lot of experience in continental football.
Winning away.
Tricky. Yeah, exactly. Somehow they know how to grind that win. And for Raimo, they've lost to them before, so it means now they understand this team. You know, so they've played them severally in the CAF Champions League. We know it's difficult to go away in African football, but Aimba did what they needed to do, Victor Mboma, and that's how to win when you go away from home. Let's just hope that they wrap things up in Aba. But it's advantage to them now. But Onyewichi mentioned some problems that we shouldn't be having. And that's the problem. I told you that football, we always forget, 90% is played in the brain. So whatever sabotage is going on right there in that team, the players, it will creep into them. And it has an effect. So people need to understand that when you want to win, everybody needs to have the same goal, the same vision. Everybody in the team should operate with the same philosophy. So if somebody is trying to pull down the efforts of the team, it might just work against them. Right. It's not over, right? But we come out and push and try to get something out of that game. So Aimba must be focused and come out to show that they have the pedigree that they are known for on the continent.
All right. Okay, guys, let's quickly talk about the CAF Champions League, CAF Confederation Cup. That's where, for me, it's a huge disappointment, especially with Pillars, the margin of the loss. I mean, they have a lot to do when they come home. I was rejoicing. Ikoje told me on Friday I shouldn't, playing away first, it's not an advantage. I guess I understand why now. Let's take a look at the results just to confirm for you. ASC Giraffe, Senegal, hit Kano Pillars 3-1. Rivers United, that's still, they probably just need a goal and they'll be through. For Kano Pillars, they need 2 unreplied goals. That could be a bit difficult. But let me not get ahead of myself. Let me get your thoughts. I wasn't impressed with Pillars, I must say.
Yeah, I mean, the fact of the matter is that Pillars, and by extension the Kano State government, have not learned from history. Each time Kano Pillars picked a continental ticket, what happens is that, I don't know who is advising them, the government will set up a continental committee. That is another distraction. And what thereafter, it becomes a jamboree.
Yeah.
You remember that they went to Senegal with about 84-man contingent. What do you need that kind of? You have a technical crew already. You have a management. Stick with them.
Yeah.
Get the needed players on time. You have picked the continental ticket. Why do you need politicians? You know, being in the delegate, it doesn't make sense.
Dignitaries,
whatever it has happened time and time again, and it has not worked. And if you are doing something, if you are doing anything, repeating it, and it's not producing any result, you jettison it.
Yeah.
So for Pillars, I think they have not learned their lesson. What the signal you are sending to players is that these people are more important than us. I mean, if you are spending so much to take people to away games, why don't you give it to the team, to the players? You have recruited them.
Their welfare.
You have to have confidence in them and their welfare. So it didn't come to me as a surprise. And AS Giraffe is usually a perennial campaigner. I remember they played Yimba one time in the CAF Champions League. So these are the continental competition is not.
It appears like we're not ready.
Yeah, it's not a stroll in the park. You must realize that you need seriousness. You need to recruit good players.
How about Rivers United?
Yes, you might be tempted to look at the scoreline 2-1, but again, a team from Equatorial Guinea.
Yeah.
Have we gone so low?
Has it become that bad?
No, that's the question I ask myself. It's a team from Equatorial Guinea, for goodness sake. Not even the top team in Equatorial Guinea, not the regular campaigners on the continent. You know, so you might argue in favor of the team that they will not be playing football for some time, and you cannot blame the LMC, you cannot blame the clubs, because contact sports just resumed. But again, we shouldn't be losing to teams from Equatorial Guinea.
We have a lot of ground to cover, but anyway, back for the two teams, it's football anyway.
Yeah, I read an interview from Rabiu Ali, the captain of Kano Pillars, reassuring that they are going to win in the second leg, but it's a difficult task.
Very difficult.
Very difficult, but still very possible.
Yeah,
I think it's easier for Rivers United than Kano Pillars.
All right, I don't know if Austin is on the same page. I seem to agree with Onyewuchi that I think it's easier for Rivers United than Kano Pillars. I'm not saying they're out. I mean, it's football. Anything can happen. They could score 4 unreplied goals. I mean, it can happen, but it's difficult. It's difficult.
Difficult because the other side of the story is that the team from Equatorial Guinea can also come to Nigeria and just lock up or even just score a goal, and then Rivers United start struggling. You know, I look at continental football and try to tie it to be the reflection of a country's football. So when Rivers United lost Yemi, it bothered me so bad. I started researching Equatorial Guinea League football. They don't come close. So something is wrong, definitely. Should we blame it on the pandemic? Maybe. But then again, it's just something about football that you expect to respect. See, for instance, there's Giraffe. I know you just mentioned that they always like their presence in the CAF Confederation Cup or CAF Champions League. And we mentioned it there that it's Senegal. And if you look at their football, it's been on a rise for some time now. But not Equatorial Guinea. Let's see how Rivers United will respond. It is the response that matters. But I also worry because most of our teams don't know what it's like now to play without the fans because they've not really played football in a pandemic. So that will be another experience totally for them, particularly Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars, they get turbocharged when they are at that Sani Abacha Stadium and the fans are roaring them to go. But now they won't have that. And they lost in imagining that we cannot imagine. So football will just tell us the story at the end of the day.
All right, that's a good one. All right, let me get your thoughts quickly on another casualty of 2020. I mean, we've lost a lot of people in 2020, some to COVID, some that we felt will still be with us. Let's talk about a Teranga Lions player that a lot of us loved when he was playing. Let's talk about Papa Bouba Diop. Played for Fulham, played for Portsmouth. Was a thorn in our flesh at some point. You remember I think we played them twice at the 2006 Nations Cup, and even the Nations Cup that was held, Nigeria and Ghana, Senegal. It was very tough. But this guy, well remembered for that goal he scored against France in the 2002 World Cup. That dies at the age of 42. It's really, really sad.
Really sad. Yeah, heartbroken incident right there for Papa Bouba. I remember how everybody scored that goal at the 2002 World Cup for the entire continent, and the world celebrated him. Let's also remember, I think he won the FA Cup with Portsmouth, right? And been there, done that with football. Has a fantastic work rate, strong, agile. It's just sad that we're losing him at just 42. Difficult to take. This has been a very difficult year for not just sports, but virtually every sector. When that news broke, I struggled to take it. But then again, we should just be happy for the moments that he has given to us on football. It's a big, huge loss for football in Senegal. But I saw how FIFA celebrated him. Let's try and celebrate him for the good things I remember him for in Africa.
All right. I hope CAF is listening. Let's go on a break. That's the final break on the show. When we return, we'll talk about Diego Maradona, talk about the English Premier League, and squeezing some of the things happening in your amazing world of sports. We'll go on that break, return for more on Sports Tonight. All right, welcome back. So that's it. Hopefully, CAF will give a fitting tribute for Papa Diop. Let's quickly talk about the English Premier League. Let's see if we can get the results for you. I felt happy for Fulham today. 3 players associated with Nigeria are in Fulham. It was a hard choice. Leicester had 2 Nigerians as well. But for Fulham, because they've been losing, it's very difficult for them. I'm very happy that they finally got something. And they won 2-1. West Ham and Aston Villa. Game is going on now. It's still 1-1. Owen, we see your thoughts quickly. Very happy for Scott Parker and Fulham.
Yeah, for Ola Otu, he has been very regular for Fulham at the Craven Cottage. They went away to beat Leicester City. Just like you said, Wilfred Ndidi is still, on his way back. Kelechi Iheanacho always playing when Vardy is not around. But, it's a good one for Fulham. Maybe this victory could signal a gradual turnaround for them for their season. They gained promotion last season, and everybody thought that maybe they could rub shoulders with the big boys, but things have not really worked out for them.
It's been very difficult.
Yeah.
All right. Let's quickly show you what's going to happen tomorrow. That game is currently going on, the one West Ham Aston Villa. But UEFA Champions League, let's do that quickly. We want to run through. We're pressed for time, but let's see if we can quickly give to you. Of course, Bayern and Atletico, one of the games that headlines tomorrow. Lokomotiv Moscow up against Salzburg. Atletico Madrid up against Bayern. Shakhtar Donetsk, that's in Group B. Shakhtar Donetsk and Real Madrid in Group B. The other one's in Group A. Borussia Mönchengladbach, surprise, still leading in that group. We're up against Inter Milan. And so we'll see how far that all of these matches to be played tomorrow. Let's also see some of the matches. FC Porto, Manchester City, Marseille, Olympiacos, Atalanta, Midtjylland, Liverpool, injury-ravaged Liverpool up against Ajax. Onyewuchi, in less than a minute, any of these games catch your attention?
Well, want to look at FC Porto, Manchester City, then Liverpool and Ajax. Liverpool ravaged by injury. Ajax, very enterprising, youthful teams. These are matches you could watch and get excited.
All right. Let me get Austin's thoughts quickly, if you can. Less than 30 seconds, because I want us to talk about Maradona. That's your next. That's the next thing you're talking about. We're pressed for time. Any game to look forward to if you were advising somebody who wants to see a good game of football?
Yeah, Atletico Madrid, Bayern Munich should also get us talking. Let's see what Atletico can do. They understand the Champions League so well, and it will be good to see them stunned by Munich.
All right. Okay, let's talk about Diego Maradona and the inquest somewhat. I don't know where the pendulum will swing, but it appears like his doctor is now in a bit of a trouble. He's been investigated. Nobody has said he has done anything, but you just felt that Diego Maradona has been laid to rest. Everything should just go down, but it seems people want to know what happened.
Well, I think we should just let him rest. The football world's still mourning. Whatever it is that will come out of this, maybe it will give some closure to close relatives, family, friends of Diego Armando Maradona. But will this bring him back? No, it won't. Will it put conversations out there some more years? Will it give justice a chance to play if there's anything, official about his death? But let's see. It's still under investigation, so we shouldn't put out media trial. Let's see what comes out of this one.
All right, Austin, I want to thank you for your time on the show today. Hopefully we'll do this some other time. All right, so that's our man, Austin Okonakman, right there in London. Only which as we wrap things up, Austin said he's not going to bring him back, but it appears there's an inquest, and the doctor already defending himself. Quickly, if you can.
Yeah, Maradona's two daughters are alleging that he was given the wrong medication.
Oh.
And the doctor addressed the press, was actually crying, was so emotional that he gave his best to Maradona, and that, that the accusation of negligence does not hold water.
Okay.
That he did his best, but he said one thing, that Maradona was unmanageable.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. But first of all, I want to thank you for your time. Always a pleasure having you here with us.
Yeah, my pleasure, Yemi.
All right. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of your day. We enjoyed this. Of course, we're going to be back here again tomorrow. Take you on a trip across the money-spinning world of sports. I'm Yemi Adebayo. Bye-bye now.